Well, good afternoon, everyone. Glad that you're here. I'm a little bit late starting the BFTAA and more show, but we are coming to you live from the KUAW radio system located at 4510 East Linwood Boulevard in the WEB Du Bois Learning Center building. And we're glad to be with you this Monday. It's been a busy day or busy afternoon, a lot of things going on, and we're having a lot of fun here. But we're glad that you're able to join with us. We're trying to revamp and redo what we're doing with BFTAA and more. And we also want to bring you some information about what's going on KUAW-wise and BFT-wise and things that are happening right here in Kansas City right now. So, yeah, we're just glad to be here. Hey, I'd like to let you know that we're having this Saturday from noon till 3 a Remake Learning Days for our Black Family Technology Awareness Association's robotics program. We have kids in tech or youth technology program, and they worked with Lego robots, and now they're doing drones, and we're getting ready to wind up our season. So they're going to be having an event right here at the WEB Du Bois Learning Center, 4510 East Linwood Boulevard, and it's about drones, robots, and what did I say? Drones, robots, and something else that I had. But anyway, come down here, bring your kids between 12 and 3. It's open, it's free to the public. Oh, we got rockets, drones, and robots. That's it. Oh, man, I was about to leave it out. Yeah, and we're going to be doing some stomp rockets. The kids will be able to make rockets, and I'll show you a little kit that you can also make at home for very little money. These rockets will take off and go up to 200 feet high. We had some kids last year when we did it that put some rockets up on the roof of the school building here, and this is a 3-story building. So the kids have a good time, and they learn a little bit about air compression, and it's just good to stimulate their minds and see that there's something that they can make that will do that. And so they will actually make a rocket, and then they will launch a rocket. And that'll be going on here Saturday. It's safe. It's nobody get hurt. There's nothing blowing up, no fuel that's flammable or anything like that. It's all controlled by air. So I hope that you will come down, bring your kids, bring the family, learn about what we're doing. We're also going to have open enrollment for next season's robotics program and drone program. So if you want to get your child signed up for our robotics program, we'll be doing that also. So this will be the time to be early in and be ready for next year when we start our robotics program again. And let's see what we got here. Just checking out my live video to see how it's coming out, and it's coming out okay. So be sure and get in touch with us. That's this Saturday at the WEB Du Bois Learning Center, 4510 East Linwood Boulevard in Kansas City, Missouri. It's our Drones, Bots, and Rockets Day. Yes, part of the Remake Learning program that's going on throughout the country and in some foreign countries during from the last of April until I think the 15th of May, that they'll be having events. So be sure and check that out. As I'm looking right now, I got a light I need to turn on here. Hold on just a second, get a little more light on the subject. There we go. There's a little more light. It's got a little bit better look at me. Some of you might say you could have did better without that, but that's all right. We're there. We're there. Hey, and want to let you know that we're preparing for, as BFTAA, as I'm one of the founders of this organization, and we're actually a part of the MR 340 race that's going to be happening here in the state of Missouri. It's a 340-mile river race by any human-powered vehicle. So you can either paddle, row, whatever you want to do down there. So it's canoes, kayaks, stand-up paddle boards, homemade machines, but they can't have any motors. They can't use wind power. It has to be human-powered. So to me and a friend of mine, we entered last year. So I'm going back again this year. Excuse me. because I had unfinished business. We got about 100 miles under our belt last year, but then we had to get out of the race. So we're going to go back to finish the 340-mile race. I was out today doing some training in my kayak. I've got a current design Soltis GT that I picked up about a week ago, and I wanted to get it in the water and start working with it so I can learn how to handle it for this race. And it's bigger than the boat that I had last year, a little more roomier. So I said, yeah, this will be something I really got to get used to, but I think I'm going to enjoy going out in it this year. So if you haven't done it, you might want to look it up. It's the MR340 race. I'm going to see if I can pull it up and show you a little bit of it, if I can, or what it's about. And if you'd like to get involved in it, that would be a great thing. Let's see if we can add that to a browser here. If we can bring up a browser and then I can copy it down off of there, you can see a little bit about this MR340 race. Let's see. So we're going to start bringing you more and more live things. And while we're waiting on that, let me let you check out what's going on in the news today from the United Network News. So just a second, see if I can find that news program. There it is. Okay, check this out.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go.
This is UNN Urban Network News headlines sponsored by the book Moments in Time by Dr. Theresa Brightman. In Diddy or Diddy Not news, some of Diddy's former sexual partners like Cassie Ventura, a business associate, and a male sex worker are among the witnesses expected to testify during his upcoming criminal trial. Lawmakers are demanding answers after a woman from Haiti died in U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement custody in Pompano Beach, Florida. A 23-year-old black British nursing student who had moved to Houston, Texas to pursue her degree was tragically stabbed to death just days before she was set to graduate. Tragedy also struck a southwest Atlanta neighborhood early Saturday morning when a tree crashed through the roof of a family's home, killing a 10-year-old child. CBS has officially canceled the Equalizer reboot after 5 seasons, marking the end of the Queen Latifah-led series. UNN continues after this from our sponsor. The book Moments in Time by Dr. Theresa Brightman is a heartfelt collection of reflections on love, loss, growth, and resilience. Through personal stories, Moments in Time encourages you to embrace every moment, finding meaning in both the joys and challenges of life. Moments in Time is a reminder that each experience shapes who you are and who you're becoming. It's Moments in Time, available at the website morphosis.com. That's MORPHERSIS.com. Despite calls for him to seek the presidency in 2028, Maryland's first black governor, Wes Moore, said he's not running. You've been listening to UNN Urban Network News, sponsored by the book Moments in Time by Dr. Theresa Brightman. I'm Alexander Caden.
All right. So that was Moments in Time, or that was UNN News, and brought to you by Moments in Time. So I hope you check that out. All right, so we've got things going on now. Let me see if I can show you a little bit of this that's going by right now. Where'd it go? We're trying to bring you different stuff, bring it up in a timely way. Let's see, this may be it. Nope, that's not it. That is the solar eclipse that happened back in April. This is not. Yeah, we're getting this together as we speak. And right now, I'm not doing a very good job of bringing it to you, but we're going to be bringing you some more. There it is right here. So let's see that program. And if we can open that up on the screen. Okay. Gotta put in ORG. Now, let's see. There it is. Okay, this is the race. This is what we're going to be involved in this year. And I hope that you'll come out, or if you don't come out, just root for the Black Family Technology Awareness boat. I'll be putting the number up as the race gets near. But right now, I just wanted you to check out, this is the race across the state of Missouri that we will be in, and it is the MR 340, 20th annual, longest nonstop river race in the country. Yeah, so it's right here in Missouri. Goes from the KUAW River, Missouri Junction, which is in Kansas City, Kansas, right out of Kansas City, all the way to St. Louis, 340 miles. So we hope that you would come down and check us out. See if we can, it's not got this in the window right, but we won't worry about that right now. It is that 340 race. Also, let's see if we got, I don't think we have any video of it right now, but it's a big kayak race. It goes across the state of Missouri, and we are glad to be a part of it. All right. So, hey, there's a lot of things that are starting to happen in technology with the technology companies. And you know that the technology companies, a lot of them, are looking at your information. Sometimes it's being told to you that they are, sometimes it's not. I was checking out an article earlier this week that if you have a car that is within the last 5 years, so back to 2020, chances are your car is recording information. Hold on, I've got to go outside right quick. I will be right back. Second. Got a phone call.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Let's go.
This is UNN Urban Network News headlines sponsored by the book Moments in Time by Dr. Theresa Brightman. In Diddy or Diddy Not news, some of Diddy's former sexual partners like Cassie Ventura, a business associate, and a male sex worker are among the witnesses expected to testify during his upcoming criminal trial. Lawmakers are demanding answers after a woman from Haiti died in U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement custody in Pompano Beach, Florida. A 23-year-old black British nursing student who had moved to Houston, Texas to pursue her degree was tragically stabbed to death just days before she was set to graduate. Tragedy also struck a southwest Atlanta neighborhood early Saturday morning when a tree crashed through the roof of a family's home, killing a 10-year-old child. CBS has officially canceled the Equalizer reboot after 5 seasons, marking the end of the Queen Latifah-led series. UNN continues after this from our sponsor. The book Moments in Time by Dr. Theresa Brightman is a heartfelt collection of reflections on love, loss, growth, and resilience. Through personal stories, Moments in Time encourages you to embrace every moment, finding meaning in both the joys and challenges of life. Moments in Time is a reminder that each experience shapes who you are and who you're becoming. It's Moments in Time, available at the website morphosis.com. That's MORPHERSIS.com. Despite calls for him to seek the presidency in 2028, Maryland's first black governor, Wes Moore, said he's not running. You've been listening to UNN Urban Network News, sponsored by the book Moments in Time by Dr. Theresa Brightman. I'm Alexander Caden.
Okay, there you go. You can hear me now. All right. That was the news again. Had to go out and take care of some business. As I said, we're having the remake learning days and we have to buy food and get things going. So sorry about that interruption. But one thing I was talking about is that your car may be telling on you, may be doing some things that you don't know. And this comes from an article. This is another article. I was looking in AARP and in Consumer Reports to find part of this out. But this one is from Grunge magazine by Rhiannon Faith Ireland. And it says, yes, your car is spying on you. Here's how and what it means. So if you ever had that sneaky suspicion that your car knows what you're saying, you could be right, sort of. The GPS can't live without, or the event data recorder, EDR, that collects the data. So your car has things in it. Some of the things that are helpful, some of the things you're talking to the car, but your car picks up your voice sometimes when you don't even know it. So, that's the thing. Technology had advanced to a point where gadgets sitting in your car could actually cause you to get questioned or even arrested for a crime. And it says, don't panic, though, as this is only the worst case scenarios. That's the worst that can happen. But those are the things. These gadgets have been added to update safety in your car, security, to do voice recordings. I own my wife owns a Tesla, and it has a recording feature that can record accidents or things. We can play back the last, I think it is 30 minutes. So if you have a wreck and stuff, it'll lock in the last 30 minutes. I was sitting at a light, and a car went through the light, and they lost control, and it spun around. It didn't hit me, but it came real close, and I was able to show Mildred what happened because I could just pull it up on the recording, and there it was, So she said, oh, man. So these things are there, and some of the car makers are giving the information about how you drive and speeds and things like that to insurance companies. Yes, it used to be your insurance company. I know my insurance company would send me a letter and say, write down your mileage and this, that, and the other. Send it in. You can get a lower rate. Now it's verified. But, I haven't gotten that question in a while. And I'm wondering, are they just getting that information automatically? And that you don't have to tell them anymore what your mileage reading is and things. So tracking you picking up information, recording you, and things like that are happening. And there was a lawsuit filed against General Motors, but they're not the only car company that is doing that. So there are a lot of companies that are doing and selling your data. So they're getting the data on how you drive and stuff, and they're selling it. They don't just give it to the insurance companies and stuff. It's for sale. So they're making money off of us, and that's in the car industry. There are a lot of other industries that are doing the exact same thing. Our data is being mined, is being bought, and being sold on to different companies, and we don't even, haven't even been asked about it. It used to be that they had to have certain permission, but now certain things, and some of the things you sign, because who reads all of that stuff when you get on a new app like Blue Sky or Facebook or what have you, that they say they can do with your data. And that's about, they say they don't give out anything that's totally identifying to you, but they give out batches of who watches what movies and this, that, and other. And there's even said that some of your real smart other computers can go through this mine data and almost find you from that, from all the data, even though no one company has given your identity up. But it doesn't mean that your identity can't be synthesized through different data pools to where they can go back and find out who it was that said or did this. And that is something that we have to be vigilant of, and we shouldn't just let this happen without saying, are there any checks and balance? Who's in charge of this data? Who knows where it goes and who's buying it and who's selling it? They're so concerned at one moment about China being able to get the data off of TikTok. Now, how do they know that China can do that, or why they're so afraid of that? Is because they know that they're probably doing it off of other sites already. And they may be doing it from sites that are up in China. Data is being mined on all of us. So they're saying, yeah, TikTok gets valuable and China can get the information and all the data and stuff. Data is an important commodity. Data is like gold. It's like oil. It is bought and sold, and the more that you have of it, the more it's worth. So we need to start making sure that we're on our legislators and on these companies individually to fess up as what they're doing and say, hey, we should have the right to opt in to you using my data or selling my data. Not just that it's in some fine print. Put it boldly on there and say, can we sell your data? That's plain and simple. And stuff. Don't hide it in all the legalese and things that are in 30, 40 paragraphs of minutia that nobody understands or has the time to read through every little bit of it. Make it simple so everybody can understand that you're doing it, and then give them a choice. Or maybe pay them for their data. And they say, okay, you can do it. People may say that, hey, it's worth it to me to let you have a peek at my data. But it should be done consciously. And something that you want to have done. So that's something that we've got to do. Now, on to other things. I was getting out today and practicing in my boat, and I've done a little fishing over the last couple of weeks because spring is upon us. So as we talk about STEM and science, think about the science and that you can run by your children by going outdoors, by going to the parks, by getting out in nature, because that is a part of STEM also, science, technology, engineering, and math. Get out into nature and stuff, the science, what's in our water, what's the biological things that are all around us, the small creatures from insects to reptiles to foxes and deer. All those things that your child may be interested in or would like to see, and it may spark some curiosity. And not just going to the zoo, but seeing things out in nature. There are birds and things that are out. You don't have to pay to get in. And you can go out and see a lot of things if you're just out there. And the trees and the flowers and the plants that are growing. Very much a rich science thing that is going on. So we need to make sure that we're exposing our children more than just the computers and just the tablets and just the things that are digitized. But look at the analog world. Look at the world that is out there that you can touch and you can feel, because that is also a part of STEM. That is what a lot of our STEM works and for. So one of my things I would say is that we need to get out a little more in nature, bring our children out, and let them see what nature is all about and the science of nature. Tell them about that, so when they go to school and they have a biology class, that may spark an interest in them, and they may take that on as a STEM career. So we need scientists, we need engineers, we need technicians in all fields, doing a lot of different things, not just everybody working with a computer. Nothing's wrong with that, but that's something that we should, be able to look at and to do. So, I want to thank you for coming on and listening to me rant and rave like that, but that's all right. Another thing is, you guys know about Skype? Skype was that first service, or one of the first services that let you make phone calls. It was one of the first major ones that let you make phone calls from your computer, and you had your own phone number, or you could call people with a phone and make a Skype call internationally. A lot of people that were over here, especially I knew some people that from Africa, and they were using Skype to call because there wasn't a long distance charge and stuff, and it was a good clear line and stuff. Skype was one of the biggest tech companies in the call industry for a long time, but Skype now is gone. There's no dial tones and all of that Microsoft has discontinued its iconic video chat app, Skype. And it's now pushing everyone toward Teams. If you've got Microsoft on your computer, and one of the things that on every computer I bought is it opens up and talks about Teams, or wants you to join the Teams line and stuff. So that's one of the things that they're doing. A lot of companies are using, some schools are using. When the pandemic came in, there was a lot of people using Zoom, but there was also a lot of video conferencing being done on Teams. And it's newer, it's corporate friendly, and that's what's going on now. So Skype is going to be gone by next year. They're shutting it down. So things come and things go. Another thing that I found out that Microsoft was doing was Publisher. Publisher app that I used a lot to make programs. You could make booklets. You could do a lot of different creative things in Publisher. And Microsoft is discontinuing Publisher. There'll be no updates of Publisher. They won't take it off of your computer, but you won't be able to buy a new version of Publisher. What's out there now is the last one. I think it's supposed to be discontinued in 2026 or 2027, but they're basically saying that's it. So and Microsoft does that from time to time. They drop programs if there's not enough people using them, or if they come up with incorporating it into part of another program. So they're constantly changing, but sometimes they have programs that you like, and even though a lot of people aren't using them and stuff, you really like them and stuff, and some of those you can still use. I've got a photo cataloger that they had way back. I mean, this was, I think I saw this app probably 20 years ago, maybe not quite that long, but way back in the early Windows days, and I use it for downloading pictures off of my camera and saving them, and they're all kept with their dates and all of that. And there are a lot of new programs that do the same thing, but I like this one. I was used to it. Well, Microsoft no longer supports it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work. It still works on my Windows 11 computer, and that's what I use for my photos. So, there's some things that I'll change to the new thing, but hey, if there's an old program that's working, if I can still work it on the, if it's still compatible with the newer version, I'm kind of like, hey, I'm not going to change, you know, but there's some things that I've adapted to because I had really stopped using Publisher as much myself and using some other programs to do the work that I was doing in Publisher. So, yeah, you know, sometimes it's time for things to move on, and sometimes we have to move on to new programs. You know, I'm still using Windows right now, but who's to say in the next 5 years, 10 years, there's altogether different programs. People are going more to apps. Everything's called an app. Excuse me. Instead of a program. And you see, I still call them a program. So I'm just one of those old analog guys caught in this digital world, but I'm trying to keep up and I'm pedaling just as fast as I can as they come up with new things and new technologies and acronyms and all of that. And that's what you have to do. It's a never-ending learning cycles that we're in, you know, continuous learning. You always have to be looking at things and knowing what is out there and what's coming down the pipe. You may or may not adapt to it, and you may not want to, but you need to know what's happening out there because it may be something that could be beneficial to you or something that you really need to watch out for that you need to learn about. So, you know, I advise everybody to continue to learn, continue to read, try some of these different programs. Open one up. Sony had a picture cataloging program too, and I tried it and didn't like it as much, and they discontinued it. Also, some things work, some things don't work. You got to go with that. It's just like storing our videos and our photos. It seemed like a good idea to put a lot of the stuff in the cloud. But if you put it in the cloud on a lot of different platforms, they can change and say, hey, we're not doing that no more. You got to download it or you got to get it back. So nothing's permanent. You may be saving some movies and pictures now. I had a DVD at home that I made on the computer, but now the computer I have now can't read that DVD. It doesn't know that program. It doesn't, so it's like, okay, I thought if I put it on DVD, I'd be able to pick up that video. It saves it, or I can change it to something else. But I can't even get it to play now. And then there's a whole new world you have to go through to find compatible programs to play something old. So if you have some movies, some old family movies on DVD that you burnt yourself, you might want to look at them, and if you haven't looked at them in a while, make sure if you buy a new computer that you can see those movies, because depending upon what program you made it on, because it's got some kind of file name on the end of it now, that right now my computer says, hey, we don't know what to do with this. So you got to constantly be watching and checking. I don't know that there is one generic permanent program. If somebody knows that there is one for videos, let me know that it'll be there and that, you can, other programs can open it up, or it's easy to see. MP4 may be it, but the program I got wasn't made as an MP4. And then I've had some MP4s that have become hard to read. So it's can be challenging, but keep the faith. Continue. Don't give up. It's all about learning and growing. So that's all I have for you today on the BFTAA and More Show. I want you to continue to come back and find out things that are happening, find out about this AI and how it has continued to spread. If there are some classes or some workshops that you can take on AI, I would ask that, you ought to do that. Maybe it can help your church. Maybe it can help, your family reunion. Maybe it can help your kids in school, or it can help you with things you've got to do. But you got to know what AI is about in order to be able to use it to do something that could be beneficial for you. It's out there. It's becoming more ubiquitous to everything that we touch, that we need to know a little bit about it. You don't have to be a guru or know how to program AI and things, but you should know a little bit about it and what's going on. I believe that the We Code KC is having a workshop this summer. I saw something on Facebook. I'll have to start posting some of that or bringing it up on the screen when we do a show so that you can see some of the things that organizations right here in Kansas City are doing to help you stay up on what's happening in the digital world, to help close that digital divide that still exists in our community. There's still a digital divide. We've been fighting it for over 20 years. but we're still behind in our digital literacy. So I want you to think about that. Also, next week, supposed to do a show. Our financial literacy is a thing. So I got Mr. David Whalen coming in. He's going to talk about a program that he does and that he's going to do at another church on digital literacy. So stay tuned and be sure to join us next week if you want to hear from Mr. David Whalen about digital literacy and where you can get a class or a workshop that you can join to find out more about how to manage your finances and to know a little bit more about your finances. So thank you for tuning in today. I hope you will continue to listen to the Black Family Technology Awareness Association show, BFTAA, and more, and that we can start giving you more information of what's going on in technology. I am your host, Louis George Walker. Glad to be with you this evening and hope that you have a safe and great day, rest of the day and the rest of this week. I'll see you again next Monday at 5 o'clock from 5 to 5:45. Mr. David Whalen will be one of our guests. Thank you very much for joining us and have a blessed evening. See if I can ease out of here gracefully. I guess I already blew that gracefully part. See ya.